no one could have found me. There was a big rock rolling, just about to crush me. Mighty hand just appeared and took me off the cliff. One thing I know,
He's the Savior of mine.
I'll make him known
To the people of dark.
Oh Christ my Lord,
Oh Christ my Lord, never leave me alone.
I'll praise his name.
I'll praise his name. Hallelujah, amen.
One thing I know,
He's the Savior of mine.
I'll make him known
To the people of dark.
Oh Christ my Lord,
Oh Christ my Lord, never leave me alone.
I'll praise his name.
I'll praise his name. Hallelujah, amen.
Give me that old-time religion.
Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me.
It was good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas.
It was good for Paul and Silas. It's good enough for me.
It was good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas.
It was good for Paul and Silas. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me.
It was good for Hebrews children. It was good for Hebrews children.
It was good for Hebrews children. It's good enough for me.
It was good for Hebrews children. It was good for Hebrews children.
It was good for Hebrews children. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. It was good for my grandmother. It was good for my grandmother. It was good for my grandmother. It's good enough for me. It was good for my grandmother. It was good for my grandmother. It was good for my grandmother. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me.
It will take us all to heaven. It will take us all to heaven.
It will take us all to heaven. It's good enough for me.
It will take us all to heaven. It will take us all to heaven.
It will take us all to heaven. is good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Yes, give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me.
Dumela,
Yonke, Dumela, Bria, Dumela, Yonke, Dumela, Bria, Dumela, Yonke, Dumela, Bria, Dumela, Yonke, Dumela, Bria, Olwe nyonke, olwe ria, nibulisa. 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 Dumela nyonke, dumela ria, dumelisa. 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 Jerusalema, 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 omunzi ohanyayo. Jerusalema, Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Jerusalema, Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Siya kutanazelela. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Siya kutanazelela. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Siya kutanazelela. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Siya kutanazelela. Jerusalema, omunzi ohanyayo. Dumela nyonke, dumela dumelang yonke, dumelang ria, dumedisa, molwe yonke, molwe ria, nibulisa, molwe yonke, molwe ria, nibulisa, molwe yonke, molwe ria, molwe yonke, molwe ria, nibulisa, dumelang yonke, dumelang ria, dumedisa, dumelang yonke, dumelang ria, dumedisa, dumelang yonke, dumelang ria, dumedisa, dumelang yonke, dumelang ria, dumedisa. Thank you so much for those who are enjoying our music. It's not a crime to clap for Ninga Melodies. Kama ni tamu. You know, you've been enjoying so much mpaka kama mnalala, kumbe mna enjoy. Mnafurahia? Asante. I know it's a chilly morning and that's why we are here with you to offer some good entertainment. So kama ni tamu, unapiga tu makofi. And then with your permission, we might want to engage you a little bit later so that we warm up the room. Sindio? That's in order. But for now, continue enjoying some sweet a cappella music. Na tuko kwa Christmas season. Tuwakumbushe tuko kwa Christmas season. Yeah, Christmas. We might not see each other during Christmas, so we might as well throw in some one or two Christmas carols. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive a King. Let every heart prepare him room.
And heaven and
nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let love and souls implore, while feast and flood, rocks, hills and plains.
repeat the sound,
Repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness,
and wonders of
his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive a King. Let every heart prepare him room.
and heaven and nature
Heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Let earth receive. Let earth receive a King. Thank you. Ding dong merrily on high, in heaven the bells are ringing. Ding dong verily the sky is driven with angels singing. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Hosanna in excelsis. Pam 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 pam. In so you below, let steeple bells be swinging, and yo, my priest and people singing. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Pam 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 pam. Pray you beautifully bright, your mighty chiming ringers. May you beautifully write your if-time song is singers. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Hosanna in excelsis. Asante sana. Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible says. Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
One shepherd watched their flock by night. They see a bright new shining star. They hear a choir sing a song. The music seems to come from afar.
Hark now, hear the angels sing, a King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Oh my Lord, you sent your Son to save us. Oh my Lord, your very self you gave us. Oh my Lord, that sin may not enslave us, and love may reign once more. Oh my Lord, you sent your Son to save us. Oh my Lord, your very self you gave us. Oh my Lord, that sin may not enslave us, and love may reign once more. Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a King was born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. And and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines gaily on the mountain tops, I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
Sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls swing to and fro. I must declare my heart is there, though I have been from Maine to Mexico. But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls swing to and fro. I must declare my heart is there, though I have been from Maine to Mexico. But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
Down at the market you can hear ladies cry out while on their heads they bear. Ake rice, salt fish are nice, and the rum is good any time of year. But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines gaily on the mountain tops. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Oh, my heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
But I'm
sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is spinning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town.
Tunangoja makofi. I know you are getting lost in the music. But mkipiga makofi tunaendelea. So piga tena alafu tuendelee. Thank you. Aoko o mwana mer o mwana mae spenze mwana shindu buswa o mwana swe o mwana yenyine aoko Nimepanda milima, ona mabonde, nimepita misitu na nikakaogelea mito na bahari. Aoko, aoko, aoko. Nimekutana, ona vipusa, nyuso zinazong'ara, meno maziwa, machogololi, manya mdomoni. Aoko, aoko, yeah, yeah.
Nimetembea na sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Msichana mzuri.
Nimetembea na sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Msichana mrembo sana.
Nimetembea na sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Nifikiria pa Oko, sili sisiki, sura yangu itabasamu, roho wa idundi, kali urukarukao. Aoko, 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 aoko. O mwana beru, o mwana mayeye, shimbenzo mwana shilovuswa, o mwana swehe, o mwana yenyine. Aoko, aoko bade.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Ninakuyanza Oko.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Nairobi yote.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Nihaicete irema gaikoroka meriko gathie nginya metindo gatubera iria-ini no ndire ndona aonge tawe wi wakwa nijemanĩtie na arĩa athaka magego meru mahana iria marĩ njaromi iria iganago maitho manene hemuno ta ndogo.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Nikwendete ya Oko.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Ninakupenda sana.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Nairobi yote yote yote.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Imilele yaku tabia ciaku ciothe nĩ ciandahia na kwendesya vaitonyeka ona ĩmwe vaciana nzika kana nĩ ngwendete
kaneno wothi kata gitimbe magi duto duto gin mago maluoro kiwacha diera aheri ya Oko synthetic shote masheri.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Anahero nyamama.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Ninakupenda Oko.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Ninakupenda sana.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Ninakupenda sana.
Nimetembea sijamuona msichana kama Oko.
Thank you so much. I know it's very early in the morning. Some of us are not used to waking up early. So hii music inafanya wengine wanataka kurudi kwa duvet. Wengine wanaenda tu hivi karibu waanze kusinzia. So but we appreciate that you are enjoying our music. This is Ninga Melodies. In case you are seeing us for the first time, unajiuliza hawa ni nani hatujawahi waona, but thanks to LVCT we are here to entertain you. You can find us on www.ningamelodies.co.ke or you can like us on Facebook, Ninga Melodies. This is the only a cappella band in Kenya. Wanaume wanaweza imba a cappella for 1 or 2 hours. Na bado ndio tumeanza tu. So if you want us to continue, we'll continue. Tuendelee. Yeah, vile program inachelewa sisi tunaenjoy, tunaendelea kufurahia muziki. So tukiendelea kuchelewa sisi tunawapa muziki, si ndio? Taxi driver nikomboneshe gari niende Nakuru nikamwone yana Alinambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi.
Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari.
Nende wapi?
Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi.
Taxi driver,
nikomboleshe gari.
nende wapi?
Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi.
Tuliondoka na yule dereva, tulipofika kule Naivasha, gari letu lilipata panjali, ikawa lazima tukachelewa.
Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari.
Nende wapi?
Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi.
Tulipofika kule Nakuru, nilimkuta my baby amekasirika. Nilimwambia siyo makosa yangu ani, gari letu lilipata panjari, nisamehe.
Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari.
Nende wapi?
Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari.
Nende wapi?
Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi.
Iyo promisi ya gari si nzuri, kwa sababu gari haiaminiki. Kusema kweli, gari si kama motoani anayekwenda kwa nguvu za damu.
Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari. Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari.
Nende wapi?
Nende Nakuru, nikamwone Ana. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Aliniambia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi.
Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Elule lule ya baba, elule nyolanga itabu. Elule lule ya baba, elule nyolanga itabu. Elule lule ya baba, elule nyolanga itabu. Nifanye nini ndugu Tosi, elule nirudi kwetu. 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 Pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam
Safari nayo we baba, kama huna pesa utapata tabu.
Safari nayo we baba, kama huna pesa utapata tabu. Safari nayo we baba, kama huna pesa utapata tabu. Safari nayo we baba, kama huna pesa utapata tabu. Pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pararam pam.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje. Pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam.
Safari nayo we baba, kama utapata tabu.
Safari nayo we baba, kama una pesa utapata tabu. Safari nayo we baba, kama una pesa utapata tabu. Safari nayo we baba, kama una pesa utapata tabu. Pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje.
Nilihangaika kule Molo, ndugu zangu nililala nje. Pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam pararam pam pam pararam pam. Elule lule ya taoni, elule izindakora. 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 Elule lule ya taoni, elule izindakora.
Cha upele mpenzi, hayo semayo, kama ni maradhi yapeleke kwa daktari. Cha upele mpenzi, hayo semayo, kama ni maradhi yapeleke kwa daktari.
Wananiamini niache rumba, na mimi sikuzoea. Siwezi kuiacha rumba kwa sababu yako. Wananiamini niache rumba, na mimi sikuzoea. Siwezi kuiacha rumba kwa sababu yako.
Kama wanipenda, tende kwa baba. Akisha kuona, atowe malini kuoe. Kama wanipenda, tende kwa baba. Akisha kuona, atowe malini kuoe mpenzi.
Wananiamini niache rumba, na mimi sikuzoea. Siwezi kuiacha rumba kwa sababu yako. Wananiamini niache rumba, na mimi sikuzoea. Siwezi kuiacha rumba kwa sababu yako.
Mama akina Sofia, mwambie Sofia wangu, naye atange vile
na milele na milele. Mama akina Sofia, mwambie Sofia wangu, naye atange vile na milele na milele. Mama we, baba we, mwambie yule wangu, naye atange vile na milele na milele. Mama we, baba we, mwambie yule wangu, naye atange vile na milele na milele.
Punda alinyimwa pembe, akapewa masikio, akapewa na mlio
wa milele na milele. Punda alinyimwa pembe, akapewa masikio, akapewa na mlio wa milele na milele.
Mama we,
baba we, mwambie yule wangu, naye atange vile na milele na milele. Mama we, Santa we, mwambie yule wangu, naye atange vile na milele na milele.
Majengo siendi tena, majengo siendi tena, majengo siendi tena, kuna ndogo ndogo nyingi.
Majengo siendi tena, kuna ndogo ndogo nyingi. Majengo siendi tena, majengo siendi tena, majengo siendi tena, kuna ndogo ndogo nyingi. Moyo wangu wanituma vema, niwe mwanachama wa daima. Sitoweza kuliacha rumba, ila moyo kunituma. Moyo wangu wanituma vema, niwe mwanachama wa daima. Sitoweza kuliacha rumba, ila moyo kunituma. Harambee, 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 tulicheze rumba. Harambee, 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 tulicheze rumba. Asante sana.
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning once again. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying so far? Have you liked our page on Facebook? Have you tagged us? Ninga Melodies. If you are posting something, just remember this is Ninga Melodies, and we are happy to be here with you this morning, this chilly morning. But music can put smiles on people's faces. I can see you don't look gloomy anymore. Hata mkai mmeamuka tu saizi, mnakaa tu vizuri, mnapendeza, nyuso zenu zinapendeza. Angalia mwenye amekaa pia unapendeza. Say it like you mean it. Wacha kumwambia tu kumfurahisha. Una mtu wa kuambia nye unapendeza. Yeah. So it's our pleasure to be here again, like we said, and we are happy. Our job is to make you happy. So if you are happy, if you're enjoying it, I can see people are moving their heads pole 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 pole. Lakini musilale. Yeah. Tunapeleka tu pole pole to enjoy music from Ninga Melodies.
Dedire koreon enyam omwedwa gwetereire,
gwetereire.
Dedire koreon enyam omwedwa gwetereire,
gwetereire, gwetereire, mwedwa gwetereire, 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 mwedwa gwetereire, gwetereire.
Detaga nyamo shagedanka mwedwa ritwa ryaku,
ritwa ryaku.
Detaga nyamũ cia gĩthaka Wanjirũ rĩtwa rĩaku
Rĩtwa rĩaku nyamũ cia gĩthaka rĩtwa rĩaku nyamũ cia gĩthaka rĩtwa rĩaku
ndendaga kũhũrwo nĩ anake switi gĩgũcaria ndendaga kũhũrwo nĩ anake switi gĩgũcaria
mwendwa gĩgũcaria mwendwa gĩgũcaria
ndendaga kũhũrwo nĩ anake maidia nĩ ũndũ waku ndendaga kũhũrwo nĩ anake maidia nĩ ũndũ waku
mwendwa nĩ ũndũ waku mwendwa nĩ ũndũ waku
ndetaga nyamũ cia gĩthaka mwendwa rĩtwa rĩaku ndetaga nyamũ cia gĩthaka Wanjirũ rĩtwa rĩaku Enisiro
nyamũ cia gĩthaka rĩtwa rĩaku nyamũ cia gĩthaka rĩtwa rĩaku gwetereire mwendwa gwetereire mwendwa gwetereire gĩgũcaria mwendwa gĩgũcaria nĩ ũndũ waku mwendwa nĩ ũndũ waku gwetereire mwendwa gwetereire mwendwa gwetereire mwendwa gwetereire mwendwa gwetereire
Kuna mtu anaitwa Wanjiro. Oh, no wonder. Tumemwona anafaa kulipia. Amepata wimbo wa bure. Okay, thank you so much for enjoying all the shiros. You are welcome. Anyone celebrating their birthday, by the way? It's your lucky day. Today, hakuna. Going once, going twice. Hata kama ni kesho, you can even fake it. Ama mtoto wako, ama someone unapenda, or you can record a song for him or her, alafu umpeleke wambie ninge melody so mwish happy birthday. That is of yourself. Anyone celebrating birthday? Hakuna. It's not your lucky day, imagine. Hakuna. No problem. Nobody. Aya. Ting tiriri ting tiriri ting tiriri ting tiriri ting tiriri ting tiriri Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama.
Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama.
Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama.
Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama.
Sele ndalo mani somo bore anta somo dala chuogore pile pile kilaro toto ilaro nyaber.
Sele ndalo mani somo bore anta somo dala chuogore pile pile kilaro toto kilaro jaber.
Sele ndalo mani somo bore anta somo dala chuogore pile pile kilaro toto ilaro nyaber.
Sele ndalo mani somo bore anta somo dala chuogore pile pile kilaro toto kilaro jaber. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama. Jaherana seleo, sele mama.
Sele nyati sungore ndege 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 mama.
Sele nyati mwonyore mbuta 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 mama.
Sele nyati mwodorondelo mama.
Sele nyati mwodorondelo mama.
Sele nyati mwodorondelo mama.
Sele nyati mwodorondelo mama.
Sele nyati yom kapoi 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 mama.
Sele nyati susore bando 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 mama.
Sele malaketar kacheo masiwa.
Sele malaketar kacheo masiwa.
Sele malaketar kacheo masiwa.
Sele malaketar kacheo masiwa.
Sele nyati mitka yogat yogo yogo.
Sele nyati mitka yogat yogo yogo.
Sele nyati mitka yogat yogo yogo.
Sele nyati mitka yogat yogo yogo. Mama mama, mama 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 mama, mama mama.
Oh mama Idi, oh mama Idi, oh mama Idi, oh mama Idi, ahera yangoja. Oh mama Idi, oh mama Idi, oh mama Idi, oh mama Idi,
ahera ya ngoja. Itawezekanaje kufanya mapenzi pasipo na fikira? Itawezekanaje kufanya mapenzi pasipo na fikira? Heri niwe peke yangu mama, heri niwe peke yangu, heri niwe peke yangu mama, nawe uwe peke yako. Heri niwe peke yangu mama, heri niwe peke yangu, heri niwe peke yangu mama, nawe uwe peke yako.
Maisha matamu lakini mafupi, oh mama Idi, ahera ya ngoja.
Maisha matamu lakini mafupi, oh mama Idi, ahera ya ngoja. Itawezekanaje kufanya mapenzi pasipo na fikira? Itawezekanaje kufanya mapenzi pasipo na fikira? Heri niwe peke yangu mama, heri niwe peke yangu, heri niwe peke yangu mama, nawe uwe peke yako. Heri niwe peke yangu mama, heri niwe peke yangu, heri niwe peke yangu mama, nawe uwe peke yako.
Kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola,
kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola, kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola,
kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola,
kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola, kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola. Embedodo embedodo, limelala mchangani. Embedodo embedodo, limelala mchangani. Kwa uba na mazoea, uwe wangu wa milele. Kwa uba na mazoea, uwe wangu wa milele.
Nilitoka kwako juzi, nikitaka kukusabahi, mamio alinijibu, mwenzako hayuko katoka. Nikauliza kenda wapi, akasema hajui baba. Nikipita vichochoroni na kupata ukinyatana, umekwisha potea,
umekwisha potea, wapotea mtoto mzuri kwa kunywa chang'aa.
umekwisha potea sheri,
umekwisha potea, wapotea mtoto mzuri kwa kunywa chang'aa.
umekwisha potea nyadendi,
umekwisha potea, wapotea mtoto mzuri kwa kunywa chang'aa.
umekwisha potea,
umekwisha potea, wapotea mtoto mzuri kwa kunywa chang'aa.
kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola,
kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola, kolo kolola, mama kolola kolola. Embedodo embedodo, limelala mchangani. Embedodo embedodo, limelala mchangani. Kwa uba na mazoea, uwe wangu wa milele. Kwa uba na mazoea, uwe wangu wa milele. Kwa uba na mazoea, uwe wangu wa milele.
Thank you, thank you. You deserve another one. But you can do better. We deserve better clap than that. Asante.
Aha. Wega we morio hiwe no jiganete jiguwega jiganire wega ona kaigwa maisha memega gakiri kwa munyedi dori kushigona uthokie muntu agikuhitirie uimwe ndaturi gukuthi
wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashangene mwenge wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki
Ngai wakwa ni wega iritwa rĩaku rĩgocwo baba nĩ ũndũ wa kũhe mwene ũi gĩkĩ nĩ kĩheo gĩaku ndamenya ũrĩa ndanetha ũngĩkinyĩria gwakwa ĩkweri mũndũ angĩkona we kĩamumunyaga makorobote
wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki wenewe njata yakwa rufaru rwa demethio ashagere mwege wa gathagu ikeno ciakwa nowe wiki.
Yeah, thank you so much. Asante sana. Tunaendelea. We said the program inachelewa, si tunafurahi. So you are having fun. Yeah, thank you so much. Ninga melodies for you.
Mawe niwe baba
Silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe we baba silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe
we baba
silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe
niwe baba
silale mawe we baba silale mawe
Zioya,
Zioya, magaza sengi ulelewe mama. Zioya, magaza sengi
strong winds,
strong wind, destroy our home. Many are dead tonight, it could be you.
strong winds,
Strong wind, destroy our home. Many are dead tonight, it could be you. Kulumani sizwe,
chase and die.
Fire, Shabula basichanda, Shoku,
Kulumani,
Kulumani sizwe,
chase and die.
Fire, Shabula basichanda, Shoku.
Somebody say,
hello, hello, hello.
Somebody say, somebody else.
Why?
Somebody say, somebody say,
Hello.
Somebody say, somebody else.
Why?
Somebody say, somebody say,
Hello.
Somebody say, somebody else. Baby, hi, hi, beautiful girl.
Hi, baby, hi, beautiful.
To all the lovely ladies in the house. Hi.
Hi, baby, hi, beautiful. Hi, come along to kiss me before I'm gone. Come along to kiss me before I'm gone. You don't to kiss so nice. Before I'm gone, you don't to kiss so nice. Before I'm gone, come along. You.
Don't you meditate.
I sent a messenger to tell you that I want to meet you at the station. Come along to kiss me before I'm gone. Come along to kiss me before I'm gone. You don't to kiss so nice. Before I'm gone, you don't to kiss so nice. Before I'm gone, come along. You.
Hello, my baby.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby.
Wonderful people. Jipigeni makofi tena one more time. You know, when you are dealing with a small audience like this, you see everyone. The one who is enjoying, the one who is not, the one who is not clapping, the one who is not bothered. But here I can see everyone is bothered. Sindio? each and every person. No one is sleepy. Everyone is enjoying music. That's why now I want to welcome you to celebrate with us this beautiful country of ours. We say Kenya is ours. Say Kenya is ours.
Kenya is ours.
Kenya ni yetu. Sema Kenya ni yetu. Kenya is Marwa. Hata kama uchumi imeenda aje, sisi tunajivunia kwa Kenya, si ndio? Yeah, so please be upstanding. Oh no, before usimame, hebu stretch. Can you just stretch your hand? Stretch your hand. Check if your neighbor is still alive. Mgonge kidogo. Muulize, are you alive? Are they alive? Huh? Are they feeling like baridi imeenda? Hata naona nje jua imeanza kutokea kidogo. So you can stretch better ukisimama. Simama kidogo. Just be upstanding. Vile nimesema we are few, so I can see mwenye hata simama na muona tu na Mungu pia anamuona. Tunasimama sote. I will not disturb you kuja mbele mali tu huko. Hapo tu, we want to say Kenya is ours in a very special way. Enjoy this tune from Ninga Melodies. Weka mikono juu hivi. I know volume. Haya, tunaimba sote.
Is Marwa and Marwa, Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Is Marwa and Marwa, Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa.
Karibu hivi sasa.
Is Marwa
pole tu hapo kwa hapo tu.
Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Is Marwa and Marwa, Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa.
Ongeza madawa kidogo hivi.
Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa.
Tunapenda Kenya yetu.
Tunapenda Kenya yetu.
Tunapenda tamaduni zetu.
Tunapenda tamaduni zetu.
Tunajivunia pori zetu.
Tunajivunia pori zetu.
Tunajivunia ngoma za Afrika.
Tunajivunia ngoma za Afrika. Is Marwa and Marwa. Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa.
Take it low kidogo chini kidogo.
And Marwa.
Very nice.
Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa. Marwa nchi ya Kenya to and Marwa.
We love Ninga Melodies.
We love Ninga Melodies.
Tunapenda Ninga Melodies.
Tunapenda Ninga Melodies.
We love singing.
We love singing.
We love dancing.
We love dancing. Is Marwa and Marwa. Marwa Ninga Melodies to and Marwa. Is Marwa and Marwa.
I like that dance.
Marwa Ninga
Unaweza copy ile.
Melodies to and Marwa.
Copy hiyo. Twende hivi sasa.
Wana hukumu waomba the Ninga Melodies.
Wajaluo miela. Waluya. Wataita. Watu wa pwani. Masai. Wakisi. Adoanyoba. Aya. Kila mtu piga vigelegele nisikie wapi. Aya.
Watoto Maninga wanapenda
Sema
mutamu. Watoto Maninga wanapenda vitu.
Sema
Watoto Maninga wanapenda vitu.
Rudia Sema tena twende sasa. Tucheze na watoto waninga. Tucheze na watoto waninga. Teremsha mziki na watoto waninga. Teremsha mziki na watoto waninga. Twende chini na watoto siwaoni. Twende chini na watoto. Tunaringa hivi. Ashika hapa tena. Kichwa na watoto waninga. Kiuno na watoto waninga. Magoti. Anza tena. Kichwa na watoto waninga. Mabega. Kiuno. Magoti. Karibu tena. Twende. Kichwa. Mengine ajui kichwa iko wapi? Mabega. Kiuno. Tumbo. Twende. Tumbo dance. Kama kuna kitambi kidogo, kama una wajika hivi. Twende. Jaribu hivi twende. Kichwa. Twende. Mabega. Twende. Kiuno. Twende. Tena. Magoti. Rudi juu. Kichwa. Twende. Tena. Mabega. Twende. Tena. Kiuno. Maliza magoti. Tamu ama si tamu? Tamu. Tuendelee. The more program inachelewa, tunajienjoy, si ndio? Mnajienjoy? Nataka watu, juu stage ni ndogo, watu wa kunisaidia hii movement. Nataka 6 ambao wanajiamini from Central. Watuonyeshe movement. 6 ambao wanajiamini.
Kuna ile table ya Shiro.
Ile Shiro kuja.
Table ya Shiro.
Tulikuimbia bure, sasa lazima ulipe. Shiro kuja na wengine 5 ambao unajua wanatoka either Murang'a, Kiambu.
Na ingine ya Demetrio iko hapa.
Mzee ya Demetrio.
Ndio hiyo.
Alifurahia sana. Anaitwa Wanja ama Minji.
Minji.
Sasa kama unajua unatoka Central and you are proud, kuja tu. Kama unaitwa Nyambura, Kamau, kama huyu Kamau. Maina, nani Maina? Mwaniki weko. Weko maidi tothie shere. Ni asubuhi. Etio ni ya Friday. Tothie toga kene, tochano maya. Tothie toga kene, maisha no maya. Hiyo si ya leo, sorry. Pole, hiyo si ya leo. Hiyo ni ya Friday. Leo ni mapema sana kuenda sherehe, ni mapema sana. Hakuna Mwaniki? Yuko hapa. Njoroge? Kamau? Nani? Who else? Huyu hapa. Nani mwingine? So nyinyi wengine wote ni Wajaluo, Waluya, Wakisii, Waembu, hata Waembu wako wapi? Gojiri. Na nilimjua, nilikuwa nimemuona. Eti anageuka haoni. Gojiri. Eti anapanguza simu. Sasa hii simu imepata maji.
Hapo ni mrefu kujificha.
Wanajaribu kujificha, anafunga macho.
Good morning. We will start with the national anthem, but may we be understanding as we welcome the Principal Secretary, State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs. May we start with the national anthem, first dance of Kenya and first dance of East Africa.
Tukae na udugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. tulinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
As we are standing, may we have a word of prayer from Madam Eunice.
Let's pray. Our God and our Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come to you this morning with thanksgiving in our hearts for bringing us to this room, to this place, and at this particular time. Father, we want to thank you because you tell us in your word that where 2 or 3 are gathered, you are also there. We praise you, my Father, because we believe you're going to be with us from the start of this program to the end. And we want to thank you, oh Lord, even for the report that is going to be launched, because we know, oh Lord, you gave us wisdom to be able to see what is happening to the Kenyan child. And Lord, you enabled us to come up with interventions that have worked and that have reduced violence. We want to thank you, my Father, for your faithfulness. And we know even the journey that is ahead of us is going to be bright because you will be with us. We thank you, we honor you, we praise you. It's in Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Thank you. May we be seated now. Yeah, I will now hand over the program to Dr. Muringi, if you are around, and then you will guide us from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. For me, it's just to wish you a very, very warm welcome. I know some of us came quite early. There are those who are online. Please bear with us. We're gonna go through the program very quickly. Just to appreciate and to get to know who is in this room, I would like to the participants here, the invited guests, to introduce themselves. Maybe you mention your name, the organization you're working, and what position you hold in that organization. So we're gonna do this very quickly, and we go to my left side. Just stand up.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Washika from the Ministry of Health. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Wasianga and I work for USAID.
Good morning. I am Joy Melly from USAID.
Good morning. Irene Wali, Save the Children, actually Child Protection Advisor.
Morning, everyone. Linda Ulo, African Population and Health Research Center.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Margaret Nampicha from the African Population and Health Research Center in Nairobi. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cosmas Carrera, working with DCS in Kajiado, representing the Regional Coordinator, Rift Valley.
Good morning. My name is Ruth Awinja from TDH, Terra Zones, Netherlands.
Good morning. My name is Martha Sunda. I work for Childline Kenya.
Good morning. My name is Kangarasi. I am representing Together for Girls under the advocacy branch called Brave Movement.
Good morning. My name is Geoffrey Musoko from DCS Kakamega County.
Good morning. My name is Francis Ndaleko from Child Welfare Society of Kenya, representing the CEO.
Good morning. John Mwaniki is my name, DCS Nyeri County Coordinator.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Helen Duta, DCS at the headquarters.
Rosemwangi, DCS headquarters. Directorate of Children's Services.
Good morning everyone. Habari ya asubuhi. Hamjambo.
Hatujambo.
My name is James Owera. I'm a child protection volunteer and I'm chaperoning the KCA president from Mombasa. Santeni.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Evelyn Otieno from Directorate of Children's Services, headquarters. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Linda Jeruto. I work for World Vision Kenya.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vivian Ondeo from the Directorate of Children's Services, headquarters.
I'm Gift Breton, media.
Good morning. My name is Tabiro Tich from Radio Citizen, Nairobi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Robbie Chacha Omundi, reporter at K24 TV.
Good morning. My name is Anne Gunjeri from Elvicity Health.
Good morning. My name is Vivian Mangoli from the Directorate of Children's Services.
Good morning. My name is Eunice Mora from the Directorate of Children's Services headquarters.
Good morning. My name is Sally Mwonja, PRO. State Department for Social Protection.
Good morning, everyone. Christine Ondeki, my name. Directorate of Children's Services, headquarters.
Good morning, Kara Jema from Paigo.
Jane Thiomi, LVCT Health.
Morning, my name is Kasichana Masha from KBC.
Good morning, good to Bradley, KBC.
Good morning, Willis Odhiambo Ngele from Equity Group Foundation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lina Digolo from Evidence and Beyond.
Hamjambo nyote. Kwa majina natambulika kama Samuel Smith na mimi ndiye rais wa watoto. Anafurahi kuungana nanyi kwa ghafla hii. Asante.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Halima Sarah from Plan International, representing the country director.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yoko Kobayashi, Child Protection Specialist from UNICEF Kenya.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Lengewa. I'm heading the Center for Behavior Change and Communication, CBCC. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm George Migos, Director of Children's Services Headquarters.
Morning, all. I'm Kennedy from the National Council for Children's Services.
Good morning. My name is Fidelis Modoni from Catholic Relief Services, CRS.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
My name is Joseph Adome. I work for World Vision Kenya. I'm in charge of Nairobi and Kajiado County.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Pauline Kedogo Anube from SOS Children's Villages, Kenya, the advocacy manager.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Divina James Caballo. I'm working with the Regional Psychosocial Support Initiative, REPSI Kenya. I'm representing REPSI here in Kenya. Thank you.
Allow me to step a little in front so that the PS can nionekane. Good morning. So this is Samuel Munyuin, and I work with the African Institute for Children's Studies. It's a local NGO. I must step a bit ahead because Bona PS, today we are preparing the food, the last bit of preparing it, because tomorrow, I'm sure many of you here, some of whom have just met on phone calls and emails like Kangarasi, in planning for the International Conference for Child Protection in Africa, whose theme is addressing violence against children, and we're looking at what is the evidence. Dr. Lina Digolo is a keynote speaker, and thank you. I think from our breakfast meeting at the Fairview, it went very well. So we are ready. Conference tonight. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Philip Soko. I'm Director Program in the Office of the PS.
Good morning. I am Alice Sanokul. I'm the Country Director for Child Fund Kenya.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dr. Lilian Otiso, Executive Director, LVCT Health. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Abdunur Mohammed, CEO, National Council for Children's Services.
Good morning. Shem Nyakutu, Secretary, Children's Services, Directorate of Children's Services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether we've everyone introducing themselves. If not, I'm Dr. Waringi Mohinde, PhD, working as for the official of this country, Kenya, as a Child Protection Officer in the Child Protection Department of the Directorate of Children's Services. Thank you very much, and you feel very much welcome. I would like to invite Mr. George Migosi to acknowledge the partners who have participated in the survey. Mr. Migosi, as you've heard that this week we've had quite a number of activities focusing on children. We had the celebrations of the World Children's Day yesterday in Thika. Today we are honored to have the launch of this survey, which will get more details from the researchers, the investigators there. Then again, as Mr. Munyunyi Sam has indicated, we have the second International Child Protection Conference starting on 23rd? Tomorrow. So we see you're gonna have the faces here, present there. You are most welcome. Mr. George, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. The Principal Secretary, State Department of Social Protection and Senior Citizen, the Secretary Children's Services, the CEO, National Council of Children's Services, and the invited guests and the partners. Good morning. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the partners who have been working with the Children Department, the Directorate of Children's Services, who have worked together so that to have reached to produce this report. We have many partners who we want to acknowledge today. When a Principal Secretary, the partners who have worked with your State Department to produce fruits for the benefit of this nation. Given that when a Principal Secretary, your State Department hold the future of this nation. The children of these nations are in your hands, that they needed to be protected so that we have a goodie Kenya. Before I start acknowledging the partners who have supported us, I want to quote one great social justice scholar, not only a scholar, Mahatma Gandhi of India. He said, if you want to know the true measure of a society, you will find it how they treat their vulnerable groups. So, sir, the Principal Secretary, you are in the front line of measuring Kenya, the true measure of Kenya, because you are treating the vulnerable children. And these partners are supporting us to make sure that our children have the best and they become better citizens. I want to start by acknowledging UNICEF Kenya. Yoko Sisalound from UNICEF Kenya. Makofi. Sometimes I call UNICEF Kenya International Children Department. They really support us. They have the true feeling, and they say, leave no child behind. And truly, they don't leave no child behind. I want to acknowledge US Head, Joel Molly, and the partners, they are around. Please clap for them. I want to acknowledge LVCT Health Director who have worked to produce this report, led by their director, Dr. Lilian Otiso. Please clap for them. I want to acknowledge Child Fund, County Director who is around, Alice. You can clap for them. LIPS, it's a long term, but I know it deals with the psychosocial support of the children. That is what we need really for our children. Devin, James, please, you can clap for her. I want to acknowledge AICS, Sami. You have talked. Yes, African Institute of Child Studies. They are doing good work. They want to understand. They want us to understand how we should be able to live with our children. Please clap for them. There is this great partners, Equity. All of them, they are great. But Equity, which can come up with financial support. Please, they are led by Willis. Please clap for them. Equity equally assist being the vulnerable groups you are supporting, the old and the orphans. They are in the front line. And they even come and support our activity. Even in yesterday, the tomorrow meeting, conference, they have come out very strongly among financial institutions. We really don't take it for granted. Thank you, sir, for coming that far. We want to recognize Save the Children. Save the Children. Irene Wallets is here. Please clap for her. SOH Village, Borini. They are also here. They have been supporting this agenda. Please clap for them. We have Plan International, who have also been leading and supporting children agenda in Kenya. Alima Mohammed is around. ABHLC, Margaret is here. So they are also supporting the agenda of child protection. Please appreciate them. We have Center for Behavior Change. Peter is around. Please clap for them. World Vision, which I somehow find they are more specialized on child participation. Even yesterday when we were at Maisa FM radio discussing on child protection issue, we were with World Vision. They are so much partnered with issues to involve the children and other child protection issues. Please appreciate them. We want to appreciate the National Council of Children Services, which has a very big mandate. They have developing the regulation in governing us. They have to coordinate us. They have to advise the office of the CS and the BS on children mothers. And they have to monitor, supervise the implementation or the activities we are doing on child protection. They are led here by none other than their CEO, my friend Abdul Noor. Please appreciate them. I want to appreciate the Directorate of Children Services, as we are being led here by our Secretary, Mr. Sem Nyakutu. Please appreciate them. Now, lastly, you got is a gentleman who is the president of the Kenya Children Assembly, Samuel Simit. You have a wonderful name. Simit was somebody I loved when I was studying economics in the university, Adam Simiti, who did some theories of economic development. So Samuel Smith, let us appreciate the President of Kenya Children Assembly. And that means we are not leaving our children behind. They want to be involved in all the agendas we are moving. So those are the people who are really trying to make the State Department achieve their mandate. The mandate, one of the mandates is child protection. Our partners have mentioned they are here to support us so that we are able to take child protection to the next stage, so that the future Kenya will be a future Kenya. Because the moment we don't do it, we are preparing some people, we are trying to close, we are not able to stop people from becoming hardcore criminal in future. But the moment we prepare our children and protect our children at this early stage, we will be able to have achieved much. Partners, thank you very much for working with us and continue working with us on this channel. May God bless you as we continue. Thank you very much.
Principal Secretary, Honorable Motari, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning once more. Hamjambo, hamjambo. Mbona mmeshikwa na baridi? Kwa sababu ya mvua? You should be celebrating when there is rain. In fact, in some countries, they remove their clothes and go out, and they are showered on. They don't run away from rain. You know that? Yeah. I want to take this opportunity to call the President of the Kenya Children Assembly to give us his remarks. Smith, welcome. Karibu sana. Makofi kwake. Makofi ya kilo. Asante sana.
Your Excellency, the peers, dignitaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Habari zenyu. Yeah, as you've heard, my name is Samuel Smith, the President of the Kenya Children's Assembly. Mimi ndiye rais wa bunge la watoto Kenya nzima. Kwa wale ambao wanasikia bunge la watoto, this is just basically a children's parliament where we get to discuss on issues that affect us and engage in policy formulation and in participation. So I'm really glad that today I've been invited in this pre-conference for children are being engaged. I would like to commence by thanking the Almighty God for this non-silver platter opportunity to join you in this pre-conference to discuss on one of the most pressing issues of our time, violence against children. I thank the government and all actors who work for the children and with the children. Let me start by defining violence. Violence is basically brutality, behavior involving physical force, intent to hurt, damage, or perhaps even kill someone or something. So there are types of violence all these violence that affect children: domestic, sexual assault, child abuse, physical abuse, gender violence, all types of them. So as children, our child protection rights and life and survival rights are hindered immensely by all forms of child violation. Children in the marginalized, sorry, you'll allow me to cut across and speak for every children in the country. So children back in the marginalized communities and remote areas are still facing the harmful practices that are taking place in modern day. Moreover, children in the urban areas are more than insecure and neglected. Children with special needs are not only neglected and stigmatized, but also discriminated. Therefore, as children, we demand for action from government agencies and all action. Sorry. Yeah. We would also like strict measures to be put in place in a bid to end violence against children as we commence the ICCP. All actors who work for the children and with the children must join forces in order to create awareness and sensitize everyone of the menace child violation. As children, we should not be left behind. Instead, we should be considered as a vulnerable group. So I'm just going to mention the positive impact as we mark the decade of this initiative of child protection. So there've been development of the Children's Act 2022, which is addressing the gaps in the Children's Act 001, whereby as children we are really engaged in child participation and where we are able to air our views on all our concerns and issues. And also a development of a policy tackling online child protection abuse has been developed since 2010. So we thank all the government and all actors who work for children. As the future stewards, our concerns and issues must be handled on a serious note. We demand for action as soon as possible. Jameni, sauti za watoto zisikike. Na masuala zetu yaangaliwe kwa kina. We are tired of singing this song. Over a decade we've been singing about child protection, all our issues, but yes, we're going to have this conference. We're going to come to bring our concerns and say what we're facing, because it's children will be converged across the country, isn't it? So we're going, as we air our voice, zitasikika. Will action be taken? That's what I want to question you. So I'm challenging you. And also, as you work on these child protection initiatives, you should also engage children. Most of the children don't know about this. For example, me, before I became the president, I joined the Children's Parliament. I didn't know of all of this. So please, if this is for us, we should be engaged. Otherwise, I'd like to wish you wonderful conference as we. Yeah. Shukran sana.
Makofi ya kilo. The time for action is now, it's not tomorrow. Principal Secretary, I want to call upon Ministry of Health just to say hello. Then we'll follow CEO National Council for Children's Services. Then we'll have education and GEC in that order. Just say hello to our partners. Thank you very much.
Buona PS, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great pleasure being here and looking back and seeing the journey that we have made as Kenya when it comes to protecting our children. We've walked quite some steps, and we are yet to cover more steps to ensure that all children in the country are safe and protected. Thank you. Asante.
Makofi, makofi kwake. I therefore call the CEO, National Council for Children's Services.
Thank you, Bwana Secretary. Bwana CS, distinguished guests, good morning once again. Indeed, this is a very happy moment for us. This is almost a week-long activity and engagement on the protection of our children. As per the program shows, there is a very loaded program which is very promising for our children. But I hope documentation will be seriously taken, and we will find our best on how to implement also on the outcomes of this. Otherwise, asanteni sana. Once again, I wish to join in thanking our partners who have made it successful and who are always with us in the children activity. Yesterday, we marked the World Children's Day in Thika, and it was not possible without all of us doing. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you very much. Makofi kwake. I want to call the representative of Ministry of Education. Representative, Ministry of Education, is she here? No. Therefore, I call coordination of government. Ofisi ya Rais. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. My name is Kemunto Kenani, Minister of Education. I didn't know I was supposed to speak, but nonetheless, let me just say a word. All protocols observed. Remember that when you are doing something for the children, the Ministry of Education benefits a lot. Because, you know, if the children are not protected and you are not coming up with the laws that are actually in favor of the child, the Ministry of Education suffers a lot. Because when we are trying to achieve the 100% transition, and then our children are not even in school, then it means that we are not achieving anything. So in short, what I'm saying is that you've sheltered us in one way or the other, and this multi-sectoral approach, I think, is very, very positive, because that way we are going to achieve a lot. Let me say that we are going to have fruitful engagements from what I'm seeing, and I'm wishing you all the best, and thank you for the invite. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Makofi kwake, makofi ya kilo kwa mwalimu. Yes. I want to move to partners, because this event really, it is the partners who've made it move. And I'll start with the County Director, Child Fund Kenya, Madam Alice Anukur. Karibu sana, Madam. Makofi akija. Mpigie makofi mpaka afike. Asante. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Good morning. At Child Fund, we believe every child must have an opportunity to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and safe wherever they are. And it's very encouraging to see the representation in this room ensuring that children are safe and are protected. And in Child Fund, we partner with everyone here, whether it be joining forces, or it's the government, and it's the media, because we believe it takes a village to raise a child, and we are that village. Especially we promote protecting children, recognizing the child protection mechanisms that are informal, and also linking them to the formal. And child participation, I've had it several here, child rights advocacy, mainstreaming child protection in program activities across all life stages, and we mainly work from life stage 0 to 5, 6 to 14, life stage 2, and life stage 3 up to 24. But of course, as they exit them, to ensure they are active participants and citizens that are meaningfully engaged. And we do child protection in emergencies. So really grateful to be here and to hear what milestones have been made. As one of the speakers has said, we've made some steps, but still a long journey to go. This morning, listening in the debriefing with the PS, he wanted really assurance that the statistics he's seeing, he's hearing, are for real, because he still sees there's a lot to be done. And for me, that's encouraging to know that work is not yet done yet, but together we can make a difference in the lives of our children. Thank you.
Makofi. I'll take this opportunity, Bwana Principal Secretary, to invite LCT Health, Dr. Lilian Otiso. Karibu sana, Madam. Daktari, welcome.
Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. And I'll start where I always start. LVCT Health, formerly known as Liverpool VCT Care and Treatment. And we dropped Liverpool because we're a Kenyan NGO. We started as an affiliation of Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine because we had a PhD student from there. So I discovered we were baptized many names, so I always have to give that correction. But thank you very much, all of you, for being here. We are really proud to host today's function. We apologize, the room is smaller than we thought. Your presence is overwhelming, so thank you very much for showing up today to really celebrate this report and the progress we've made as a country. As an organization, many of you know us for our work on HIV, but we've also done a lot on gender-based violence, especially work now on violence against children, both the prevention and response, and we implement our work through research, policy, and practice. And so we believe we need to find the evidence to justify what we're doing and to inform the different programs, and working very closely with government to do it. And so we've partnered very well with the Department of Children's Services, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, and all the necessary departments or ministries that play a part in addressing the issues of violence against children, and it's one of the commitments we intend to do. In terms of implementation, we do programs at large scale. We thank our partners like USAID, CDC, who funded us to implement projects. One of the key ones is, for example, the DREAMS program, which is a PEPFAR-funded program, a US government-funded program, that allows us to implement interventions for children that help towards social protection, health, education support. And we've seen those are some of the examples that have resulted in reduction in violence, which varies: physical, emotional, and even sexual violence. And so we are committed to continue with this journey. We're really proud of the results that have come through this study and our contribution towards the violence against children surveys and developing the response plan. We worked closely with the department to develop the response plan and actually disseminated it across 11 counties, and we're supporting them to make sure that that work can continue to be done. And so, for Bwana PS, you have our commitment, and we continue to work with you and your team, and we urge you, your department, to keep investing as we all look for different ways of investing in strengthening the systems, the data systems, the capacity building, including the community resource persons, the child protection volunteers, so they can be resourced to continue to do this very important work from community level upwards. And so I really thank the team that worked on this, the Vivian, Dr. Lina, who did the study itself, and the others, and our team for the commitment and the desire to keep working. And I urge all of us to really keep committing towards supporting or addressing violence against children, because we've done a lot, but there's still so much more to do. We can see cases of violence every day, and there are more people reporting. So also the media getting more people to report is part of the way. So we have a long way to go, and we hope to do a lot more of this and generate a lot more evidence that will get us to that destination. Thank you all. I'm looking forward to a successful launch today and the conference this week. Thank you.
Makofi kwa madam. Now I want to invite UNICEF Kenya, Madam Yoko Kobayashi. Makofi kwake. Makofi akija.
Hamjambo. Bwana PS Motari, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as a UNICEF, we are very happy to be here in today's launch. We have been walking this journey together with the government since 2010, actually even before, but it started with carrying out the violence against children survey and coming up with national plan of action to address it. And again, 2019, another violence against children survey. and national prevention and response plan on violence against children. I think we have so much to learn from what has been done between 2010 and 2019, and really excited to get the lessons learned, what works and what needs to be done more, because as much as we have seen the reduction, now 46% of girls, 56% of boys are affected by childhood violence. It's simply still too many. I think we all know the harmful impacts of violence on each and every boys and girls, and its ripple effects in their families, societies, and the back survey 2019 also shows us intergenerational cycle of violence, because unfortunately children who are affected by violence are at a higher risk of becoming either perpetrators or victims in their adulthood. So we really now have to beef up our efforts continuously to address violence against children. And we have a key asks for the government's counterparts, the CSOs, and all stakeholders. One is really to allocate more domestic resources for child protection. Let us increase the number of children officers. Let us institutionalize, scale up the initiative of child protection volunteer that Mr. Migoshi has just mentioned. Let us also work more with the communities and the parents, and we congratulate the ministry of having launched the National Positive Parenting Program recently. I think it's time to scale that up. So there's so much more to do, but we also are very much looking forward to listening Dr. Rina Digoro today and learn from what works well between 2010 and 2019. So we are here to scale them up. Thank you so much. Asante ni sana.
Thank you very much. Makofi kwake. Another round of applause. Why are you cold today? Thank you, thank you. At least you're warming up. Now, we want to have a presentation from Dr. Lina Digolo. And this is a summary presentation of the Kenya journey towards protecting children. Daktari, karibu sana. Welcome. Makofi kwake, akija. Asante sana.
Thank you, everyone. Bwana PS, our distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making time to come and listen to us. I'm excited to see many faces in the room that walked this journey. This is a study that was done by, I think, everyone in this room, either as key informants. We had a stakeholder, in fact, a number of stakeholder meetings where you gave input to the findings, and we refined those, and along the way we've been having conversations. So this has been a joint effort by the government, the children. I'm excited that the children are here. They contributed to this, and the research team. So I'm going to be presenting this on behalf of my co-investigators, who some are in the room but others are not in, and we hope that the results that we present here make sense to you because you've been part of it, but also so that, Bwana PS, we see this being actioned. A number of the implications that we'll be presenting here have already been said, so I am happy that they resonate with everyone. The President has talked about some, and we've had some even from UNICEF, so I hope these findings are not surprising to you all. So for the purpose of those who've never heard of this study, I'm just going to give a bit of background. Sorry, I'll just recognize my co-investigators there. As you can see, we had a very vast team with DCS being at the forefront, and LVCT Health and the Evidence and Beyond team. So we will give you just slight background. I'll touch a bit on the methodology. That's not where we're going to be spending time. We'll spend a bit of time on the findings and the implications. So just to put you in context, Kenya, as you've heard, has done 2 VAC surveys, and we are trendsetters, because in 2010 we were the 3rd country in the world to do the VAC survey. We were brave. People were scared of doing this study, and most people who did their studies this early got very shocking results. And that that was in Kenya. We also got quite shocking results, and you'll see how the government acted immediately. This again was a trend-setting thing where we quickly went and developed a response plan and said we are not happy with these results, and the government led in this, and you've already heard, which was implemented between 2010 and 2019. And in 2019, we were brave again as the second country in the world to say we are ready to do a repeat. We have been doing work, and we want to know where are we. And in 2019, we found great reduction. So just giving you a sense was that in this year we had over 80% of children participating in the study having had undergone at least one or another form of violence. In 2019, these numbers dropped down to 50-something, 56 there for both boys and girls. That reduction at population level is impressive, but we are still not happy to have over half of our children undergoing violence. So there's work to be done. These two studies are surveillance studies, and they are quantitative studies. So what we get from the VACs is numbers, prevalence numbers, nature, form, but it doesn't give us the reason behind why. And so when Kenya did these two surveys, which were designed to use similar methods, we had an opportunity to compare our results. And in 2010, a comparison study was done thanks to CDC. And what we found was what I've just mentioned, a reduction in most forms of violence in both boys and girls, except certain forms that remained high and slightly increased in the adolescent girl age group. So put that note. It's important to notice that everyone else had drastic reduction, but this age group called adolescent girls, there was something happening there. So today, what I'm going to be presenting to you is this period here. We're not going to be talking about 2019 to 2023. What we want to learn is we did something good here. What is that good work the country did, and how can we use these lessons here to further progress? Because when you do good work, you want to invest in that. So that's what this study is about. The other thing is that this study is a qualitative study. We did not assess numbers. We are not going to be presenting prevalence. What we are going to be understanding from this study is we are going to be examining the factors, the key factors that contributed to that to those changes. Let me not speak about reduction. Let me speak about changes, the changes that occurred during that period. And you've heard that majority was reduction, but we also sought to understand why we didn't see a change on certain forms of violence amongst adolescent girls. This is a very busy slide. You're going to be receiving the report soon, so don't worry about it. But what I want to mention here is that our study was formed around a very robust conceptual framework, and what we used to develop our study questions and methodology was laying it on against the response plan that was developed in 2010-2018, and also looking at the international framework that has been released or was released in 2016 by WHO, which really laid out what works to prevent violence. And we put these frameworks together and developed our study question. What was interesting for the research team is, remember, WHO released this in 2016, as we thought through our framework in 2010. When you get the report, I encourage you to look at the differences between the similarities between these two frameworks, and you find that we had already known. They're the same. We actually already had pre-thought this, so that's part of the things you need to remember. So quickly on the methodology, the study design again was exploratory. It's purely qualitative. The study areas, remember, this was a national, it was a national level survey like VAX, but as you know, with qualitative studies, and even with all quantitative studies, they're pretty expensive. So it's very hard to go to all the 47 counties. So we went back, mapped the country back to the 8 provinces that we had, and then inside there selected at least 2 counties, I think, or 1 county for each based on the data that we already had in terms of high prevalence, low prevalence, rural, urban, as best as we could. And we had 8 counties participate, and we also had the national level teams participating. Sorry, as usual, we have technical issues when it's time. The study population was national level policymakers. We had implementing partners, funders, and private sector who've really contributed a lot in this work. We collected data from 39 key informants. We did a robust desk review, and we got ethical clearance from our local ERB, AMREF, and LSTM, which was a partner in this study. That's the London School, and we got our licensing approved by NICOSTI. So this is just to show you how robust this study was. We went through 195 documents. This is how hard Kenya is working. When we wrote desk review, we put 5 days, only to discover we had 195 documents to review. It took us 1 year to review these documents. So that we are working very hard in this country in terms of documentation. These were policy documents, laws, strategies, guidance. All these are on VAC. So there's a lot to read there if you're interested. The key informants, this is just to show you their composition. I'm not sure you can see that clearly, but just to show you that majority were from government, and implementing partners. This was our big composition, but also to show you that we talked to an equal number of male and female, and majority of our participants had worked in the VAC sector for more than five years, at least 5 to 10 years. So let's quickly get into the study findings. Again, you'll get the report. It was hard to display some of these things, but what I want to tell you with this is our major finding was that there were a number of factors that contributed to. Our study participants believe that a number of factors led to the reduction of violence that we saw. And I'll take you through these factors, these ones that you can't see here, one by one in a way that you can see, so don't worry. So there were a number of factors, but the important point is that it wasn't one factor. So you can't leave this room saying, this is the thing that works. That was not the purpose of this study, because we did not check effectiveness of any of these interventions. These were perceptions. Perception meaning, what unafikiria nini? There's another job of going to check whether it truly works. So these were perceptions, and what our stakeholders perceived was that these factors worked together to bring down the violence. So not necessarily singly. So just keep that in mind. So factor number 1 was government leadership, governance, and increased multi-sectoral collaboration. This was something that the participants really thought was impressive. The first thing I want to mention that came out in the stakeholder workshop, remember, we did interviews, but alongside the study, we also spoke to stakeholders and we talked to children. So when we were doing our discussion in the report, that was a combination of our study finding and our stakeholder input. So one of the things that the stakeholders mentioned was that in 2010, there was such increased momentum. And what increased the momentum was that we had just undergone the post-election violence from 2007, which really brought light to violence against women and children. And then our constitution was launched in 2010, which had a section that really made it clear that violence against children is not acceptable, and repercussions were put in there. And then we had the VAC survey. So I'm not lucky. So just listen to me, don't worry about the screen. So one of the quotes that you're going to be seeing there is a quote that came out. People thought the Constitution was the foundation for this. So the the Constitution gave a little more better structure for child protection that assisted governments and other players to set structures. As you can see a quote there from an implementing partners. After the VAC survey, there was the NRP which set the framework for all the strategies that people should implement. This was coordinated by NCCS with support from DCS. And then what you'll see was, based on this, there was an expansion of laws and policies, which actually shows you buy-in and commitment from the government. All these things were under the government leadership, and the government brought together different partners and had a structure that enhanced coordination and collaboration led by NCCS. We had other structures at national level, but also at county levels. At county levels, what we had a lot was AACs and child protection working groups that were inside the AACs and technical working group. So that's the first thing. People said leadership and governance and the collaboration that they saw based on these structures was very key in reducing this. This again is a diagram you'll see in the book, but even though you can't see, I want you to believe that all these things you're seeing here, up here, these are the policies we made during this time. Can you imagine? These are 1, 2, 3. Every year there was about 3 or 4 policies being made and being passed and being finished and being launched. That's why people say this country, we make very good policies and then they borrow from other countries, which is good. We had them. And these policies were actually being implemented. So there's good work we did here, and these are VAC-specific policies. Alongside that, we were actually developing laws almost every year, and or new ones or enacting new ones. Again, you'll see that in the report, all the new laws that were enacted. I'm really suffering here. So this is just to show you a quote for the coordination and collaboration. I'll not read the quote just because of time. You have all the quotes in the report that you'll get. And then the second thing that the partners really believed worked was system strengthening for VAC prevention. And the 2 systems that were highlighted, and we heard again from UNICEF, workforce. Workforce was enhanced. This is the first time where people were saying we actually saw an expansion in numbers for the VAC specific workforce, and also different sectors were now training people to learn how to do, let me call it GBV for now, because that's the training that was happening. And the other one that was highlighted was enhancing our data collection systems. And by this, the key ones that came out were from the health sector, having our GBV, SGBV data being inserted into the DHIS, that was the HIS then, and having tools that are collecting this data from ground to the HIS. And then the child protection information system also came during this period, and this was seen as a very key thing in terms of enabling the country to continue post-VAC survey, understand our data, and understand how to improve our systems. So you'll see quotes there. One is from, I found this interesting, from the child protection team, where this person said, in 2006 when I was joining, I was a one-man staff in the entire district. But since then, we've seen growth in the workforce of DCS, and this has been the greatest contributing factor in the reduction. So you can see that person strongly felt workforce enhancement was important. This is from a different sector, which is the education sector, where they went in and trained their teachers to be what they know as beacon teachers, and they were trained particularly for child rights and how to prevent violence within the schools and report it when it happens. We have these different quotes from different sectors, so you can go ahead and have a look at them. In terms of the data collection systems, I've already mentioned so from the Ministry of Health, with the improvement of our indicators in the HIS, and from the child protection team, DCS, the CPMIS. The third thing that the study respondents believed led to this reduction was increased funding during this period. Interestingly, the participant felt like Kenya had money during that period. Those of you who are of age then might have felt it even in your homes. they said kulikuwa na pesa, but also apart from the domestic funding, those are sudden surge in terms of donors and funders who are coming to fund this program. We even had non-traditional, I don't know if that's a right term to use, but funders who were funding other programs now coming and expanding their fundings to fund violence against children. A good example there was USAID, CDC, who, yes, have already committed to this initiative, but we saw an expansion during that time where they funded the DREAMS project, which is at scale. We had UNICEF also who put in a lot of funding, and there are many partners, you can see this in the report, who came in and expanded their funding, not started, but really improved in terms of the number of the amount of funding they gave to prevention programs during this period, VAC prevention programs. So that was a key thing that was noted. I would like to mention that one of the things that came out in the report, because right now I'm not presenting the gaps, but one thing that came out in terms of funding is the respondents felt that there was good funding during that period, but what they are starting to see now is a decline in the donor funding. And so what they talked about a lot was we need to think through our domestic funding and start thinking about a more sustainable way to keep these projects funded. The participants were very impressed with the efforts the government has put into meaningful child participation. Mr. President, those work. And the government has been very committed to this. We even looked at our desk. You know those 195 books? We had a policy that was particularly developed for child participation. We've seen many interventions, including the Children's Assembly, which came, really was strengthened during this period. Within schools, there were child rights clubs, which were really, the education sector really had some good interventions. I hope you can look at them and see in the report that were done in schools that seemed to have helped in terms of ensuring school is a safe place. So child rights clubs were one of those that were mentioned. And children were now actively participating in different forums, including the area advisory council meetings and some technical working groups. So there was meaningful child participation. The caveat there, you remember I told you we talked to children. We talked to children. They told us, yes, we are being involved. Yes, we are called to meetings like we have Mr. President here. We give our input. But when we come back and look at your documents, we can't hear our voices. We don't see our input. That's the challenge they gave to us. And then when we had that, because we were doing our research based on the feedback, we went back to the policy document to try and find the children's voices, and they were right. So you will see a strong recommendation in terms of we are doing very well involving children, but how do we make sure they're heard? That's the question for the country right now. And I think Mr. President was very clear to that today. So this is a quote that touched my heart when we actually saw children were not only empowered, but they took action. So it reached a point where children were actually, you can see this person, I proudly remember that at times it is the children themselves who would come, raise an alarm that a girl is being married off. Today or next month there's a plan for FGM in some place, or there's a girl or boy who's been removed from school and who's been hired as a shepherd somewhere. So they were actually the ones taking action and saying stop and calling the child protection officers. So they were truly empowered, and it looks like if we involve them well, they can be part of the change that we are anticipating. The other thing that was a big contributor to this was the expansion of VAC prevention services. We're not saying response is not part of it. If you look at the structures that are coming out right now, response is actually a huge component of VAC, and so that's why you'll see it here. But what we saw as a difference as a country was we now were aware that we don't only need to respond, but we actually do need to prevent. And if you see the report, we have a whole table of what happened in terms of prevention. So that was good. But the key ones that the participants thought made a change were community awareness and mobilization, school enrollment and making safe environments in schools, household economic strengthening, which gave the household resilience, and VAC response and support services. So in terms of community awareness, this was something that the participants thought was perfectly done and we should go on, because during that period, people didn't even know what VAC is, and those who knew didn't know it was a problem. But the government and its partners took time after developing policies, made popular version, took them to the media, talked about them. People started knowing this is an issue. So the communities also were able to take action once they were unaware. The big media guys walikuwa wapi? They were commended very strongly in this report. They said media had a big contribution to this, because media was now educated. They were using the right language. They were able to give space for people to go and talk, people to educate each other, and particularly local media was highlighted as a good platform that helped us reach many Kenyans with this messaging. So this was an important thing. We had huge campaigns that were happening then, including one that's mentioned here, Piganduru campaign. You can read about it in the report. Religious leaders were also shown to have quite contributed to this progress in terms of helping people understand this as an issue that needs to be curbed. And interesting for me was the Nyumba Kumi initiative, which is well known as a policing initiative. But as the teams were creating awareness, and as the government was talking about Nyumba Kumi, people started using the Nyumba Kumi initiative to call out when children are being affected. So you can see how we have our own local innovations that if we evaluate and understand that they work, that are more sustainable, we can actually enhance this and continue bringing this issue down in a more sustainable manner. Yeah. So school enrollment, again, there was the Basic Education Act, there was the School Reentry Program, and there were many other. As I said, this is the section that I would encourage you to go see what the schools did. They did the education sector did quite well in terms of prevention programming within schools, and we have even a case study there that came out. So I will not go through that for now, just because we don't have time. For the household economic resilience, a big thing that was mentioned was the cash transfer to orphaned and vulnerable children program that was done very strongly by the government, and people actually thought this was a main reason why it went down. But there were also other programs, as you can see there, that were mentioned. Response services were strengthened across the various sectors, not only one sectors, police, judiciary, education, health. Everyone was working and strengthening this, and we have the programs listed for you in the report just to see what the country did. The reason why you need to look at those is if we are going to go and think about revising our national response plan or renewing it, then now we know some of the things that people actually believed worked, and it's not going to be guesswork anymore. I had a quote there just to show you, like judiciary had a good intervention called the Children's Users Committee that was brought to the community, and they had spaces where community members were now feeling they're being heard at that level, and they would bring their cases and the judges would come down, and people thought this worked well. Quickly, I'm going to talk about the factors that people thought might have led to that non-reduction we saw amongst girls, and these were: one, the still continued stigma and culture of silence in our communities, where the form of violence that didn't come down were mainly forms of sexual violence, and people think our community is still not comfortable talking about sexual violence. And when it happens, the victim is victimized. Why did you go out? Why were you wearing a small dress? Why were you with boys? And so the girls are not talking about it or not seeking help, and we are also not developing appropriate interventions for this group to be able to support that. So something to think about. So e.g. here is a quote where someone said, sexual violence is just more difficult to tackle, you know, because it's associated with issues such as shame, secrecies, in a way that physical or emotional violence is not. The second thing was poverty, and here participants thought that in some cases, girls are sent by their own parents to make money out of sexual activities, and then this is not recognized as violence. So how do you intervene? There's a quote there for you. The third thing that people thought strongly might have led to this was disbelief from our own service providers, and even when they believe they have the culture of victim blaming, which dissuades this age group from coming for services. And that's an example of a quote where you say, when you find a girl has been sexually violated, then you go to the child's officer or the police, they look at the girls and they don't believe the girls, or they ask, or why you behaved in bad manners for this to have happened to you. I'll finalize with our implication slides. Based on our findings and based on our conversations, we strongly believe that attention needs to be put in enhancing our financial investments in VAC prevention and response services, here with a key emphasis on domestic financing. And we encourage the government to continue with the good work they've been doing in terms of broadening your partnership with non-traditional donors, if I'm to call them that, but also with the private sector, which have shown hunger for supporting. We've seen good examples from the Equity Bank, from Safaricom, so let's expand that. Second is enforcing. We've done a very good job in developing laws and policies, but unfortunately, the evidence for VAC prevention is not on development and disseminating. It's on enforcing those laws. So if we develop and disseminate, it will not improve VAC. So we now have work in enforcing all those laws, even if we could just take a pause, but no, let's continue developing, but let's enforce. So that's our second recommendation. Our third is improving service provider capacity, because when you read the report, you'll discover we were training people broadly on GBV. And so service providers, Ajema is here, Ajema et al. And Wangamati actually went back and looked at studies, and service providers were saying they are still very uncomfortable with children. So we give them broad training. They'll know GBV, but they don't want to do VAC. As a pediatrician, I can tell you that it's really, a child is not an adult. So we need to be very focused on this age group and really train people to be able to give them appropriate services. Enhancing genuine, I put the word genuine there because that's what we've been told. Tukue too genuine. We bring them in and we make sure it's informing the report. So even as we're writing this report, we're saying we must put the children's voices here because we took time out with them. So it's something we need to remember. Let's talk to children, but let's hear them, and let's make sure our policies and our practice is actually reflective of what the children want. That's the only way we are going to be able to win this war. We need to evaluate all those good interventions that I mentioned. Kenya is so innovative. We are doing such good work, but they are not evaluated. My dream is that when the Inspire 2.4 comes from WHO, Kenyan interventions will be there because we are trend setters. So I'm hoping we will take up evaluations, and when we find what works, we'll scale up effective interventions for both prevention and response. And then finally, I will also really think through what are the unique things that are affecting our adolescent girls and how do we program for them uniquely. Adolescent girls are not children and they are not women. They are a unique group there. The kind of things that are exposing them to violence are unique. So think about that life cycle and use a life cycle approach to determine your programming. We need to make sure that we continue enhancing our data collection system, both in terms of how it functions and also how people understand them, so that we continue having data from our own local setting to improve our programs. Thank you.
Makofi ya kilo, makofi ya kilo. Another round of applause to Daktari. Cabinet Secretary, here represented by the Principal Secretary, we want to request that we get a short feedback from the participants who are here. So with your kind permission, I would like to open the floor. We don't have much time. Is there somebody with a question, with a comment, so that we pass this phase? Thank you. Yes, we'll take like, somebody will be our secretary, can take some few ones, then we have Daktari respond.
Good morning once again. We have children in the room, and I was hearing what Smith was talking about. He asked, they speak of action. Do we listen? Do we hear? So even when Daktari was doing her presentation, and I think I even passed a note to this gentleman, because we are here as stakeholders, we are here as adults. Violation is not perpetuated by children. It is us who are in this room. So thinking about social justice. When you talk about social justice, we need to reflect what is fair, what is right, and what is wrong. And I think, going back to what he has said, are we taking action to those children? Sexual violation is quite rampant. Who does it happen to? Those who are seated in this room. And then I asked him again, in our programming, are we prioritizing children? Are we prioritizing the violence that is quite rampant in our society? Because remember, it doesn't matter whatever programming it is that we are doing for children. If you are targeting children who have been sexually abused, these are children who have been teared up, who are torn up. So even as you're doing your programming in education, in livelihood, social protection, whom are we targeting? Every child, every boy in every school knows a friend, knows a classmate who has been sexually abused. Incest is quite rampant. So how do we support children? And going back to what Smith asked on behalf of children. Whatever it is that they will voice, tomorrow you'll be in that conference. There will be a session on child participation. What are they saying? What action are we taking in regards to children? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. I would like just tell us your name and the organization you represent, and I'll request that you are short, precise. Pana story mingi, precise to the point.
Asante. I'm Irene from Save the Children. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over there.
Thank you so much, Daktari, together with your team, on the insights you've shared today. So I want to pick up on the issue of child participation, just to add to what my colleague Irene has mentioned. And I had a comment on the same.
Your name.
Oh, sorry. I'm Pauline Kedogo Anube from SOS Children's Villages, Kenya. So my question was one, the issue of meaningful participation. And I was just wondering, in relation to everything we did in the study, and even programmatically and in terms of practice, maybe we need to reflect on the feedback mechanisms we have in relation to child participation. And we need to move child participation from event-based participation to more of a programmatic and other different forms of participation. For those of us who maybe understand on participation, the ladders of participation, to the extent where we get to child-led participation, what are we doing? Then the other thing was on the issue of the implications. There's one thing I would have loved to see on the slide, and this is the issue of coordination. I don't think it came out very clearly. Maybe it did in the whole study. But coordination is one of the things that ails us in this country, especially when it comes to programming for the rights of children, policy formulation, amongst other things. So for me, the 3 C's I'd want us to think of: 1 is coordination, 2 is collaboration, and 3 is communication. Beyond this room, beyond our offices, how well are we coordinated? The issues of work in Kenya extend beyond the borders. For example, if you're not well coordinated at ministry level, at implementation level, we'll experience certain gaps. You've talked about the issue of adolescent girls and how we need to be sensitive.
I request you to be short, madam, because I want to take others.
Programming for them. So my concern is that coordination did not come out well, and we perhaps need to think about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I want gender. Hiyo gender sasa hiyo. Na wataka gender. Gender iko hapo.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Joseph Adome, representing World Vision, Kenya. Thank you very much, Daktari, for the good report. I think I want to make one comment. Probably, when we talk about children, there are different children that we have in our country. I think there are children with special needs. I didn't hear that come out clearly, because they also suffer some form of violence. Some of them are, if you go to some of the homes, you find that some of them are even chained and locked in some places in their homes. And I don't know if the reporters, because this presentation is not detailed, probably we didn't get the benefit of looking at the whole report. But I think we must be able to look at every child and understand how they can be supported from and then how we can become the voice of those children that are actually suffering in our homes. And then we have children. I think there are categories of children. You talked about culture, of course, which is in some communities it's normal to do certain things to children because of the cultures they have. But also we have other children that actually I work in some informal settlement here in Nairobi, and you realize that children go through difficulties even in accessing education in this the city of Nairobi. And people assume that children are doing well in Nairobi, but many vulnerable children are actually found within our informal areas. And they're not even accessing what we call quality education, which is actually their basic right. So I don't know if the report captured some of those issues, which brings in the different aspects, so that when we are talking about programming and policy influence, then we can be able to see how do we help children in different contexts, so that we don't just look children from a general point. I think those are the comments that I thought I should make on this report, but it's a great report that we can use moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want this side. Yes, kijana. Young man. Preso.
Hello, everyone. So I'm just going to add on what they've said, child participation. We've seen in the insight on meaningful of child participation, child protection. We've seen that it engages with child participation, like Child Rights Club, the assemblies, and more on. But I would like to inquire, how effective and meaningful is the child participation? Because as the Children's Assembly, the last time we met was on January, and it's November. So all that month, all that time, there's a lot that has been going on. So I'm wondering how effective it is in child participation, on how you'll get our voices. And on what he said, but you usually take children that are just around Nairobi, the capital city. Yes, that is true. You should look at the children that are there in remote areas, because they should be equitable. Because we look at how generally you're going to get the voices of every child. But mkichukua tu hapa in the urban areas, is that fair? Kuna watoto wenye wako huko wanataka pia warepresentiwe. It's not that wako. But please, mnatuangusha. Hata kama, even if there isn't enough resources ya kuwaleta, At least, kama ni wa Nairobi chukua wawili, then the rest you take from those nini. And enhance child participation. Because as KCA, the last time we met, it's in January. And this is a children's parliament. Ukiangalia the national parliament again, iko sessions how many? Tafadhali. You know this is, may feel like it's neglection. I don't know. So, yes, that is what I would like. I wanted you to address.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So Halima Sarah from Plan International. Mine is to Daktari, and it's a question because I've seen there was the involvement of the regional level kind of key informants and even national level. So do you think involving the insiders in conducting this study had an influence in the findings? Because the same people who formulate the policies, the partners, the government officials, NCCS and DCS being involved in the findings, do you think it had an influence in the outcome of this finding? And then two, to the community, the president had mentioned, for me, I'm always interested in the marginalized children, because even for Plan International, we really prioritize bringing children from the ASAL counties to come and attend the Africa Climate Summit. So this is to the government and all stakeholders to have them in mind. And then my last input is maybe from the findings, because we have all these policies, the legal framework, and even we can't leave out the judicial processes. So do we had some questions, leading questions to the community and the children to just assess their level of awareness on the existing policies and the legal framework and even the judicial processes when it comes to handling VAC cases? Because if a child is aware of this, and even the president from the remarks he gave, he feels more privileged to be part of this journey today. So the question is, how many children will be informed about this report when we are out of this room? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it would be fair to Daktari, we take those, she responds to those 5. Then if the CS has time, we can take another 5. That will be upon guidance. Daktari, in summary, please.
Yes, because a number of them were comments and some were things beyond my paycheck to respond to. Anyway, I'm just joking, but I think we've gotten very good comments that we appreciate. When you read the report, some will be in there and some will not. I just want to go back to letting you what you will not find in the report. You will not find any prevalence data. You will not find any data talking about specific groups of children. You will not find, because that was not the scope of the study. The study, that has already been done by the VAC survey. If there is limiting information in any of the VACs, that's something that we need to think of before our next VACs. Should we disaggregate this further to different groups of children? The purpose of this study was to understand what did we put in place to see the change. That was our key question, and that's why one of the things that you'll see that was missing is children participating as study informants, which was important. But there were many. We talked about this for months before we determined that this might not be the study to involve children, because when you're going to do a study with children, you've heard the president saying, you have to make sure it's generalizable. When you talk to a child, the information they'll give you is about themselves. They're not like adults. So you need to talk to as many children as possible to be able to generalize that information. When you're doing a qualitative study, that becomes very expensive. This was very minimal funding we had. So that's quickly to answer what you'll find in the report. So this report is basically about what structures were in place, what policies were in place, what the things that we had committed to as a country in the NRP, plus the things we know in the world work for VAC. Anything that you note that could have been done better, the country is still open for evaluations, and we made some recommendations of we need to continue studying, and some of those can be done in future studies. In regard to the question around whether the insiders could have biased the study, the answer is yes. When you talk to people who are part of the study, there's always that bias. But the beauty about this study was it was a retrospective study. What that means, it is a study that went back, is it 13 years ago? In fact, one of the limitations you'll see in the study, and why this study has taken us 2 years instead of 6 months, was finding participants who were willing and comfortable to talk about so many years before. Many people felt they could not remember that information. Many people were not in the positions that we wanted to speak to them to, and many people could not recollect that information. So a huge part of the information was supported by the desk review that we did, because we as Kenyans document. So it was a very difficult, and I hope that we don't have to go through that again. I hope that when we do the next surveillance, it's a mixed method survey where we are collecting quantitative data and collecting qualitative data real time at that point, because that was a very painful process. So the answer to your question is it could have been, but then again, remember, these were not the people there then. And also, what makes me comfortable is they did not only give the goods. Me, I've presented all the goods, but in the report, you'll see the gaps they brought out. They actually gave things that they think we should improve on. So they were quite objective in my sense. Child participation, I'm not even an expert in that area, but everyone who's spoken has spoken better than I could speak in terms of child participation. There's a case made there. We need to think about it when the government is taking this report. Just remember you've done a good job, but there's more that's needed. The children have spoken. So I think we'll need the experts on board who understand what it takes. I like the language you use there in terms of feedback mechanisms. How do we get to hear back from children, and how do we make sure that what we've heard back is reflected in our policies and our practice? So that's something that I would not speak too much on. You'll see coordination in the report. It did not come strongly. Actually, my friend there, coordination, people thought we did very well. Well, you know, this report doesn't even reflect what I think as an individual. Sometimes when you're writing, you want to say, I don't agree. We know qua ground, we still need to do more coordination. The 39 people who participated in this study said the government did very well. So there's good work done there. There were some gaps we highlighted, but that's one of the things they were happy with in terms of. The thing that came out strongly with coordination, akuna pesa. We want to call a TWG, but there's no money. We want to, so the issue of bringing in funding was a key thing. So I'm going to stop there because I think we need to continue the process, but most of your questions might be answered in the 40-page report. I couldn't do that in 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Daktari. I think I'm guided that we go ahead, we listen to the keynote address from the Cabinet Secretary, and then after that, the questions that we have, we can handle them later. So right now, it's my pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary, who is now represented by the Principal Secretary. Kindly, let's stand up and tumpigie makofi na tumshangilie akitupea keynote address. Karibu sana sir.
Thank you so much. Please be seated, those who are standing. Don't stand. Let me set these things of mine. So, good morning again. You well? Things I'm also trying to come up with here. So thank you so much, and I really want to appreciate you Before I do what I am supposed to do here today, I want to say my name is Joseph Motari. I'm the PS for Social Protection, where children are domiciled. Children matters are domiciled. And thank you for the presenter. You've done good. You presented nicely. And I'm sure those of us who are doubting Thomas's, we've really gotten some things right, some are wrong, some are whatever. That is why people are asking questions. But I think you've done well. Generally, you've done very well. Thank you, the President. I like the way you are defending your electorates. Yeah, that is very good. And it's really good that you do it more and more. For those of us who have been engaging children for a longer period, we know how children are being handled. But I also have a question. Adolescents are not children, and they are not adults. Who are they? No. Who are they? I really need an answer, because this is the only question I picked from there are many others, but I want really to be enlightened on this. Who are these adolescents? Who are they? Please, I need an answer. I don't need it from the presenter. Yeah? Are they children? Who are adolescents? Because why I'm asking that question before I start what I'm supposed to do here, I really want to understand this, because that is where the problem is. That's exactly where the problem is. And what is the age of an adolescent? Huh?
Maybe doctors will collect me. When they report on the issue of teenager, they talk up to 19. So there is a bracket of adolescents who are adult, who are 18 and 19. And there's another bracket of adolescents who are children. I think that's where the confusion comes in. Even when they reported on child pregnancy some days back, we had a question, because they say teenager pregnancy. But when you go to start the study, you realize 18, 19 is part of that. So 18, 19 is a consent for sex. So you cannot stop. This is another. But below 17 and 14, they are children. So the adolescent is a part of adolescents, the way I understand, who are children, and they are part of adolescents who are considered to be adults.
Is that the right answer? Huh?
The bigger age bracket. 14, 15, 16, 17, all those are children.
At what age does a child start adolescent? Huh? Is there a study on that? WHO has said so. What is adolescent? When a child does what? Huh? Yes, please. Yes, that's a child, isn't it? Please give me an answer. I really want to understand this.
From 13 to 19 years.
That's where adolescents start.
Yes.
Do we have children who are at 9, 10 years who observe puberty? Yeah? Is that adolescence?
No.
What is that? That's puberty, not adolescence. Wow. Good answers here, you guys. But we really need to, yes, the presenter, yes.
I think for me, and I've struggled with this thing for long.
Yes.
Because we've been taught certain ways and we have to stick to it. I think what we need to shift from, it's important to know the age groups. It's important to know when the biological shifts happen.
Yes.
But I think the important things, particularly when we're talking about violence prevention, whether you're talking about an adult man, an adult woman, is understanding what drives violence in that particular group we're talking about.
Yes.
Now, our adolescents, and especially, let's talk about 13. When children become 13 and above, whether we like it or not, their risk factors change because they start getting into relationships. They're now going to school and have been bullied. The kind of violence that they're having is dependent on their life cycle. So it's not, for me, the bigger thing is more about their developmental stage and the things they are doing in that stage and how they are allowed to socialize and who they are socializing with, which drives their risk factors, which we need to think about when we are developing interventions.
Very good. So these people are children.
Yeah, they're children.
Yes. Those people are children. Because 13 all the way to age 18, 19, thereabout, those are children. So ni watoto jamani? Yes. These are children. My second question is from, I think what she was asking, I didn't get your name. Yeah? Yes, Irene. Perpetrators are not children. Is it true? Huh? No, she said perpetrators of violence against children are not children themselves. It is the grown-ups, the adults. Is it true? The answer is yes and no. Yes, children have even killed their colleagues. Isn't it? Children have harassed, have impregnated their colleagues in schools. Ukweli rongo. So, it cuts across. That's what I wanted to mention. It cuts across. So, another issue I wanted to observe is that this violence against children, I'm really yet to be convinced that it has reduced. That is, I will read the statement that you guys have written to me. But I have a feeling it is not yet reduced. The cases I get in the office, when you go to help, how do you call it? The helpline 116, these are continuous. They are always there. As much as the cultural effect is being considered that it was then, but you know that the cultural effects are still affecting children to date as we talk. I was giving, at the holding, I was giving Akina Daktari my experience in some communities in the pastoral areas where I have worked when I was in uniform as a district commissioner. And what is happening outside there on these fellows called children is so bad that we need to look into seriously. Let us not concentrate in Nairobi the way the president said. Let us not consider the northern frontiers as being hard to reach. Let us work, and actually we need to concentrate in those areas more than we are doing in Nairobi now. As much as he says in the informal settlement, which I call as urban poor, the urban poor, it is easier to reach in Kibra. It's easier to reach in the Korogoshos and the Kwanjengas and what have you. It is easier to reach there from Nairobi. Even the Secretary of Children's Services can easily reach there. But can we try and focus what is happening where we are not reaching? I'm telling you, from my experience of life in this country, it is still bad. Extremely bad. So we have a duty to do, and we must do it because it is us who are supposed to do it. Nobody else. It is us in this room. Our partners, my colleagues in government, we need to do more. I want to thank the Ministry of Education. They have really done wonderfully well. They have done well. The violence against children used to be so bad in schools when some of us were in those schools. You look at what the schools is now as far as children matters are concerned, is a great achievement. And I know you all know that. It's a great achievement. So I want to ask my team to partner closely with the Ministry of Education and make sure that we even do better. But so far for the education sector, the teachers used really harass these children, especially the girl child. The boys used to be caned like, I hope some of you were there when I was there. It was bad. But now, we thank our government, we thank our Ministry, Education, for the good work that they have done, and I'm happy you are here to represent that that unit or that ministry. You are doing a great and very, very commendable job. Having said that, allow me to do what I came to do here today, but we need to do more and we need to do better on matters children. When you hear that young man, the president talking, and I'm sure even the colleagues will talk even bitter than he is. We need to assist these fellows. He said here when he was presenting, and I listened him carefully, that they should be treated as vulnerable, because actually they are vulnerable. They are. These are people who cannot make decisions because they do not have the brain to make that decision. They don't. Their brains are still developing. Yeah, they are still developing. So it is upon us who have brains who have developed now to take care of those people who are still developing. Their organs are still growing. So they cannot make the kind of decisions that we make upon them. So please, I ask that we try as much as possible, and also we try and implement our Children Act 2022. Since 2022 July, we have been having the Children Act. We've not yet implemented it. Just lying in the shelves. I want to ask my team and our partners, can we decide that this month and the second month, or whichever month that you decide, we run all over this country with our close partners, we implement the Children Act fully. If it's fully operational, I'm sure the perpetrators of violence against children will tremendously reduce. That's what I'm really asking, that we help this guy called Director of NCCS, and this guy, the Children Secretary and the department, to make sure that we really implement this, because it can't lie any longer in our shelves. We need to make sure that our Kenyan people get it and they make use of it. President Kenya Children Assembly, Samuel Smith, UNICEF representative Yoko Kobayashi, USAID representative Joy Meli, LVCT Health Director Lilian Otiso, Equity Bank Program Manager Willis Ongele, African Institute of Children Studies Director Sam Munyui. That name, he knows, he gives me headache. Munyuinyi. Is that okay? Oh, very good. Today I've gotten it. Save the Children representative Irene Wali, Plan International representative Halima Mohammed, Child Fund Account Director Alice Anukur, Development Partners, Implementing Partners, representatives from government agencies, ministry. My colleagues from the ministry, distinguished guests, our esteemed children and whom we love, and let us love them. By the way, a child needs love. You all have children. A child needs love. A child needs to be loved. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. It gives me great honor to address you today as we unveil the findings of the study that led to the changes in the prevalence of violence against children in Kenya between 2010 and 2019. This launch lays the ground for the upcoming international conference on child protection, whose significance is critical and essential for the protection of children in Kenya. To inform our policies and pragmatic interventions meant to advance the child protection agenda, Kenya conducted 2 surveys on violence against children in the year 2010 and 2019. The results of these surveys have been enabled us to quantify the prevalence of emotional, physical, and sexual violence, understand the context in which violence occurs, and who the perpetrators are. The first survey conducted in 2010 indicated there was a high prevalence of VAC in Kenya and served as a wake-up call for action. The findings provided the foundation upon which the National Response Plan for Ending VAC in Kenya 2019 was constructed. The plan was a roadmap to action which outlined clear strategies and interventions designed to address the root causes of violence, protect children at risk, and support child survivors with their journey towards healing. The second survey, conducted in the year 2019, which of course our presenter did, was informed by the government's commitment to accountability obligation. In the survey, we assessed the impact of interventions implemented for close to a decade since the first VAC survey was undertaken. The findings indicated a notable decrease in child violence. This study has explored the significant factors that have played a pivotal role in driving this decline. It is therefore appropriate to continue investing in similar strategies which are context fit and futuristic in nature. Ladies and gentlemen, in the course of time, we have benefited from the experiences of the implementation processes. The results of our investments and defined evidence and data. In view of the foregoing, the compelling evidence has continued to empower policymakers and the stakeholders to make sound decisions informing targeted interventions to protect children and create safer environments. The government has enacted various laws and policies, with the most recent being the Children Act 2022, to consolidate the gains made over the years, but most importantly, ensure that children living in Kenya are adequately protected, advance their lifelong opportunities, and their dignity preserved. The implementation journey of this progressive law is on course. It is also evident that effective intersectoral coordination and collaboration has proven essential. Collaborative efforts through consultative engagements among government ministries, departments and agencies, development partners, NGOs, private sector, and the community in development and implementation of plans and programs have amplified the impact of our interventions, underscoring the importance of unified action against VAC. Working together has helped us build stronger partnerships, streamline coordination, and leverage resources. Our commitment to raising awareness and advocating for child rights has sparked a cultural shift. Through the Spot It, Stop It campaign to end violence against children, among others in different sectors, we have raised awareness and championed child rights. Communities have stopped tolerating violence, and the children are more confident in reporting abuse, highlighting the positive impact of collective advocacy. This was really pronounced by the president of the Children Conference. So, a Children Assembly. So I want to say something here. When I grew up, and I don't know who grew up when I was growing up in this room. When I grew up, children were for the community. Watoto walikuwa ni wa jamii. One day, I got caned by a neighbor, mzee. And he caned me, got hold of me, and took me to my father. And my father added again. Because of what? I was herding, I was taking care of the cattle. And the cattle strayed to the maize plantation. And they really fed on on that maize plantation. And what happened? The old guy found me and he called me, hey, where? You know, I had removed the cattle now from the maize. And then he called me, come, I send you to your father. Then I proudly went. And I reached there, he got hold of me. And he caned me properly. The real caning, but not caning which would be considered violence. He was simply disciplining me that when I take care of the cattle, I take care of the cattle carefully. Today, you try touch my kid like this only. Just pinch. My kid, I'll come for you. Likewise to all of us in this room, we don't allow that anymore. So the discipline the children used to have, the discipline we grew with, is no longer there for the children. We need to correct our children and let the children be for the community. In my community, when I grew up, when a child was born, anybody would know that a child has been born in that house. Kweli rongo? Those who grew when I was growing. Yeah? A child, if it was a girl, we would know the yelling, the kind of yelling of the mothers or the midwives, wherever, we would know. Even young children would know there is a certain child who has been born in that house. If it was a boy, the number of days the mother would stay in the house before coming out, we would count and know that he is a boy. Okay? We would know. And there was a way of people knowing a child is in the village. A newcomer has been brought. Huh? But these days, you don't care, even if your neighbor, just the next door, gets a child. You don't care. It's not your business. It is a wrong thing. I think we have left. That is why Yoko has come up, and the team here, the State Department of Social Protection, has come up with a family policy, parenting policy. We need to know how to parent our children. Ladies and gentlemen, the government's efforts of protecting children will continue to gain more traction through the investment dedicated to bolster the social service workforce. Scale up and child inclusive social protection services. Facilitate accessible child-friendly justice system, engagement of children, and enhancing mechanisms for online child protection. Please take care of the phones with the children. The exposure they are getting is bad. As a ministry, we will continue to advocate and lobby for more resources from government and engage in private-public partnerships in order to scale up the various interventions that are effective and promising in preventing violence against children by disseminating this report to all relevant stakeholders and also implementation of various plans of action in place to end violence against children. It is now my humble duty to declare the report on Kenya's journey towards protecting its children a decade of change, 2020, 2010, and 2019 officially launched. And I say thank you. And please, where is the report we are launching? I'm done with what I was supposed to do today. But I think, thank you so much, our partners. You've done well. Thank you so much. When we do another one, it will be great. Yeah? To 2023 one. I'll be happy to participate in that one. Yeah? I'll be happy to participate in that one. That is very, very good, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana PS, for this, for your kind words. You did say that children need love. They had prepared a small presentation for you before we go to the other ceremony of the official round. So I would like to invite the kids who are to do a skit to come here very quickly as we set up the official round. Please, and Gojiri is a poem. Please come very fast. So Anne and the team, Vivian, please help us set up the stage for this ceremony within this program.
Hi. We are children from dreams, and we have a poem.
One zero.
Yes, Papa.
Where are my socks?
In your room, Dad.
2020.
But, Dad.
No bat in my house.
Daddy, don't touch me there. I'm going to tell on you one day, I swear. Why do you have to be why do you have to be them? Can't you see I'm scared? You're supposed to be my father. Stop destroying my future. You are behaving like a creature. Thank you.
Don't touch. Don't touch.
Hapa kwangu.
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 Ukiniguza nitakusema.
Utafungwa jela, utakosa kazi, utakosa pesa, utalia sana.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the next phase, which is the official launch of the report, Kenya's journey towards protecting its children. And we would like to invite Bona PS to come do us the honors, cutting the ribbon.
Mr. President, come we cut this with you. Hold it. Hold this. Very good. Thank you so much. So this is the report that we've just launched, Kenya's journey towards protecting children. So if we began the journey here, we should be somewhere. Okay? We should be somewhere. A decade of change. And kindly let us change. Okay? Let us change. Let us handle these people the way they are asking. Yeah? But don't again mislead them because they're asking for it. Okay? Yes. Let's guide them in the right direction. That is all they want. discipline them in a good way by showing them the direction that they are supposed to follow as they grow up. So thank you so much, and we hope we'll make use of this document to protect our children. Thank you.
So we need, yeah. Dr. Lena, Kande. Yes, sir. Let's go inside for the vote of thanks. Let's all go inside.
So you need the figures. I don't have the figures. You have the figures? Yes. Thank you so much, media, and thank you also for coming to be with us today, which is more of a precursor to what is the Children Conference that we have starting tomorrow. And the question you're asking, today we were just looking and launching a report from the year 2010 to 2019, which was a survey done on the violence against children in this country. And we have launched it officially, which we want to build and use to for the children not to be violated. Their rights should not be violated. For those who are caught, and this one I'm on record saying this even yesterday, for those of us who are caught violating the rights of children, or rather having the violence against children, I have always said these are wrong people to be within even the society. We have some people who have been caught even harassing the children in very, very bad situations. We have children who have been defiled by even their parents. These ones, we use the law, which is available. We take them to court. Some, quite a number of them, have been jailed. Some have even put all the way up to around 50 years in jail. We are going to make sure that we even strengthen it now that we have the Children Act in place, and now we have the survey report in place, what is happening outside there with our children. So I'm saying that anybody who will be found on that, then you can be sure will face the full force of the law.
Recently, we are courts, we see most of them who have been arrested still released. Even yesterday, there was a case of a man who had been arrested earlier and released on unclear circumstances, and again was caught with the same offense. Is it that maybe the laws are not strong enough, or what happens for such people?
The law is very strong over this. It's very, very strong over this. It is quite unfortunate because we have had even discussions with the courts, and we work very, very closely with them. And I want to say that that person may not have been released for good. He may be out on bail as the case continues in court. And when convicted, you can be sure the law is very, very clear on matters violence against children.
Question. What happens to these cases are reported, but then the information that goes to the court is altered along the way? So what happens? How do we form the police service in a way that they should handle these issues critically?
The police are really even yesterday, for example, yesterday we had a meeting with the members of the DCI, and we are working very, very closely. Those may be isolated cases for some officers who this is like corruption. There are officers who have bad motives. Yeah? They want to cover up such things, but they are isolated cases which we can handle as a government once we get to know about it. But it is quite unfortunate if a police officer does that.
Because a case in question is somewhere in Kilifi, Magarino police station, where girls have been defiled, but the culprit is still scot-free, and the information that went to the court has been altered.
That's a wrong thing, and I would want to know that one. Then I will follow it up myself with even the PS for interior. Yes, that is a very serious case. I want to say there are also officers also. As I said, these are isolated cases, and you can't miss them in society. Not every policeman is that bad. The other day in Rangwe, whereby a child was defiled by the parent. The parent has been since arrested, and the child ran to the police station, and another unscrupulous policeman again defiled the child. You see? I'm following this one, and I'll make sure both the parents and the police officer will be put to books and will face the full force of the law. That one we are not leaving. So I'll also follow up with that of Magarini. Thank you for even informing me that. I'll find out from my children officers who are there and make sure that we follow these cases keenly. But what we are asking, even you, the media people, kindly, once you get such information, please let us know. Let us know at our level. I'm fully available. You can reach me at whichever time. I will pick your number and then we'll negotiate over it. I will handle, sorry to not negotiate, but I'll handle it myself at my level. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So you the numbers?
Yes,
you get the numbers from?
Yes.
Get the numbers?
Yes. Kindly would like to have some numbers. It's important if we are aware what numbers are we dealing with in terms of reported cases, either annually, monthly, or whatever period of time the statistics are. And maybe we can go to the
so I can give the numbers in terms of what we have from our surveillance data, which is the most reliable to speak to about when you're talking about population level prevalence. So for Kenya as a country. So when we did the first survey in 2010, again, I said that was commendable for the country and brave because many countries did not have that information. Our findings were dire. The government was quite, the government and all Kenyans were quite shocked with the findings because this was the first time we were doing a population survey. And at that point, the children who participated in the study, we found about 80%, both boy child and girl child, had undergone violence, which was really shocking. And that's why you find that the government took immediate action. Kenya was one of the first countries to actually develop what we called our national response plan. And we went working. And we presented the information from that response. But in 2019, again, we took time and asked ourselves at population level, what are we doing? And the data we found from our 2019 study showed that the prevalence had come down to about 56%, which was, when you're looking at data at that level, that's a big reduction from 80 to 56, but it's not good. I mean, if it was our first study, having over half of your children undergoing violence is still very saddening. And so this is the reason why the government has commissioned a second study, not to only understand the data, but what they want to know is what would work to actually truly bring this violence to zero. So that's the data we have at population level. In terms of our day-to-day data that you want me to give, I don't have because one of the things that you'll notice from the report is that we do have data collection systems in the country, but we need the service providers to fill those accurately, to have the capability and time to document as adequate as possible for us to be able to use administrative data to make decisions. But for now, we have the 2 surveillance data that have given us quite strong, robust information, and the government is making use of it. We don't have county level data as a country for VAC. This could come in from each county being able to strengthen their data collection, children specifically for violence against children. And counties are already doing that through the Child Protection Information Management System. I know the Child Protection team can give you more detail on that. From the government, I know they're able to. Police also, education also might have their data. I think what we found from this study that's important is that each sector is collecting data at county level, but we need to find a functional data collection system that collates this data and bring national level, and then we are able to give you info for day to day. Different protection is a multi-sectoral.
What kind of violence against children do you believe the government can like most from a point of understanding what children need in that line? Okay.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Samuel Smith and I'm currently the president of the Kenya Children's Assembly. And it was both a privilege and an honor today to engage in the launch of the report. And what I look forward to, as they've said, based on violence against children, they should prioritize us as children and we should be on the front line. And not only consider one particular place like the urban center, like just based on addressing the violence against children, but they should also look countrywide across the country. There are people there are children there in the marginalized areas and remote areas that also face a lot of violence. In fact, they're the people who should be prioritized the most. So let the government be very equitable as they address this issue. Mostly. Okay, harmful practices that are still taking place are affecting us as children. And that's why I've said they should look at those remote areas, and because they're the one you find that they're facing FGM, they're insecure, you get it? All those forms of harmful practices. Early marriages, pregnancies, you find them in the northern regions, those marginalized areas. Okay, they are not safe, but the government needs to be equitable. We see the children that need a lot of attention right now because over the years, the government has been focused on the urban areas, and even the offices are in the urban. So they're still facing violence, but they should prioritize on children that are left out there in the marginalized areas. Yeah.
My name is Joseph Adome. I'm the cluster manager working with World Vision Kenya in charge of Nairobi County and Kajiado County. We are here today to celebrate and the progress that you have made as partners and government in addressing violence against children. And as a World Vision, a child-focused organization, we work with the most vulnerable children. And one of the areas where we're working with children is the informal settlements in Nairobi, especially in Mathare, some parts of Korogosho, and other slums where we have a lot of vulnerabilities. Children in the slums are not able to access quality education because that their parents go through, and we have witnessed violence against, including physical abuse, sexual abuse, in slums, and we have even children, because of drugs, allowed to engage in drug trafficking in some of the slum areas, distorting their lives. And many of them are not in school. And when you look at the slums, we have children who are not able to attend the normal education. They are basically attending what we call up-bed schools. That is alternative provision of basic education, which is not meeting the standards that the Minister of Education has put in place. And because of poverty, many children are enrolled in these schools. When you look at Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, the recent government, when government was looking at the up-bed schools, we have around 2,800 up-bed schools in the 3 cities in Kenya. And in Nairobi alone, we have close to 1,600 up-bed schools, which is housing over 300,000 children. Many of these children are being taught by teachers who have not been trained. They are just, anybody can come and teach. The standards are not meeting what other children are going through. And you realize that these children are not doing well in their schools. And if you look at the pastoral communities, especially in places like Kajiado, Marsabit, and other areas, children are facing different challenges that are being meted on them based on the culture. Issues around female genital mutilation is still rampant, besides the fact that government has put in policies and legislations that protects these children from this kind of abuse. It is still being practiced under the carpets and sometimes being forced amongst these children. And these are some of the things that we have to come together as partners, as government, to see how we can be able to address the challenges that children are facing, so that as we move to the next phase, we'll be able to report that we have reduced and addressed violence against children. And I think World Vision and other partners, including government, we have made it one of their priorities is to ensure that children in fragile areas in our country are taken care of. World Vision is in the remotest areas in Kenya to ensure that children access education, children are participating in their development, and children access health care that is that will make them survive and enjoy life in all its fullness. So we are happy to have joined other partners and government, and we are calling government to ensure that we have coordinated approach towards addressing issues facing children in Kenya. And if all of us work together, we'll be able to address the challenges that are facing children in our country, because children represent the future of our nation, and they are our greatest asset that we have, that God has given us. Thank you very much.